Hello, Grange Primary School, Year 6, Shackleton, Paducah and Darwin. It's me, Mr. LEW around the... Today's lesson, actually I should be talking formally, because that's what this lesson's based around, so I'll start again. Greetings and salutations, Grange Primary School, Shackleton, Paducah and Darwin. This is Mr. Lewis. Today's task is about how to write formally, the importance of it, why it is an essential skill to have and to use. Hopefully, by the end of this, you'll be able to execute it perfectly and professionally, and this skill will aid you throughout your life. You can pause the video at any moment, and please make sure to send your work or send pictures to the email, and I hope you have fun and gain something from doing this task. Today's day is Monday the 4th of April 2020, and the topic is journalistic writing. The LI is to use formal language appropriately. You can pause the video at any moment or rewind. There is no rush. I repeat, you can pause the video at any moment to catch up. Okay, let's begin. First things first. First of all, let's start with a precise definition. Formal language is the careful thought given to all levels of language, structure, choice of individual words, structure of phrases, sentences and paragraphs, relationships among paragraphs, and the structure of the whole document. Formal language, otherwise known as standard English, is a collection of phrases that you use when you want to sound official and professional. You use it to address or propose something of great importance. A more reliable explanation is how Boris Johnson speaks when he addresses the public. It's how you imagine Queen Elizabeth speaks every day of her life in her palace. It's the opposite of colloquial and slang terminology. Imagine a conversation between Big Shaq, the comedian and musician, and Boris Johnson. This will highlight the clear difference between formal and informal language. There are many situations where formal language is absolutely necessary. Why do you need to learn this? Why? Because it's a necessary and essential skill. Formal language will undoubtedly be required at some, even many points throughout your life. Job interviews, meeting new acquaintances, emails, speeches are just a few to name. If you want to be taken seriously, formal language is a necessity. It's a transferable skill and important form of communication. It may not seem cool, but learning this skill will definitely lead to something cool. A colourful and sophisticated vocabulary is key. Big, long and odd sounding words that make you sound intelligent. Imagine the news and an important announcement is announced and it says a massive fire broke out. How does that sound? It sounds unofficial, it sounds informal. You wouldn't hear it on the news. Here are some differences between informal and formal words. Instead of saying ask, you could say inquire. Instead of saying check, you could say verify. Instead of saying get, you could say receive. Instead of saying need, you could say request. Instead of saying say hello to, give my regards to, you could say instead. There are many ways you could transform informal to formal to make it sound official, professional. Requesting information, useful phrases. I'm writing to inquire about. I'm writing in connection with. First request. Could you possibly send? I'll be grateful if you could. Would it be possible if you tell me? Would it be possible for you to send me? I would appreciate some information about. These are just some phrases that can help you when writing or thinking of a formal text. Here's a vocabulary list that sets the tone. Some lovely sophisticated words here, such as authoritative, benevolent, elated, haughty, jubilant. If you're unsure about definitions, please don't hesitate to Google them. Type in dictionary.com in your search bar. Or if you've got the source of dictionary handy, you can look it up there. But these are some words that will help you in life and with this task in particular. Super sophisticated, advanced and vast vocabulary. That's a mouthful. In order to write formally, you'll need a good bank of exceptional vocabulary. You also must be able to use them in the right context. In other words, they have to make sense. Here are a list of words I'd like you to define and use in a sentence. I'll give a helpful hint as well if you get stuck. The first word is implore. I implore you to change your mind. If you're unsure about a definition or the word in particular in question, think about the sentence, put it in context. I implore you to change your mind. The next word is etiquette. You need to have the correct etiquette if you want to meet the Queen. Askew. Your underlining is slightly askew. Next time use a ruler. Accrue. If you leave money in a savings account, the value will accrue. Machismo. The boys refuse to dance at the disco, showing a classic display of machismo. Plateau. They say heaven is on a higher plateau, unable to be seen or imagined by the human mind. Expunge. The scientists wanted to expunge all traces of the virus so no one else could get hurt or be hurt. Candid. She spoke candidly. She wasn't scared of looking silly or being judged. Esoteric. The book was esoteric. Only a few had the ability to read and truly understand it. Mini task. Now you try and create your own super vocabularies using a thesaurus or dictionary and just flick through to find some cool, advanced words. Use online services to find some new words. From now on, in any book or text you read, if you come across a new alien word or term, store it and research it later. The more words you know, the more formal you'll be able to write. The more formal you'll be able to write, the more you'll be taken seriously and professionally. Your future self will thank you for doing so. Main task. Now you must write a letter to the head teacher asking him to take Year 6 to Thorpe Park. This letter will also need to be persuasive. Keep this in mind and remember to include persuasive techniques such as anecdotes, appealing arguments, evidence, expert opinions, rhetorical questions, imagery, puns, repetition, and high-level punctuation. Make it your own. Let your personality shine through the paragraphs as sophisticated and appealing phrases. Use statistics and data to further back up your reasons. Be polite and professional. Inform, convince, and entertain. The next slide will be some ideas to get you started. Please feel free to use and expand on them further. Okay, here are some starters and prompts and ideas for the letter I want you to write to Mr. Kerbal. Dear Mr. Kerbal, on behalf of Year 6, I implore you to sponsor and allow us to attend Thorpe Amusement Park for a school trip. I believe it will be a fitting end to our primary school experience. After all the hard work and effort we have put in, a joyful trip will be the icing on the cake we so justly deserve. Recent figures have shown that a trip of this magnitude inspires students, giving them something entertaining to work towards. After all, everyone needs an incentive. 99% of pupils have voted and given their undying support for this expedition. Cast your mind back to when you were a student. Would an incentive like this fill you with waves of motivation? During these dire times, when morale is at its lowest, a light at the end of the tunnel is just what we need to lift our spirits. Okay, you can use this for your ideas for your letter, but please expand on them and use your own words and make it your own. As I said earlier, let your personality shine through. Lastly, please send images of your finished pieces to the Year 6 email. Take pride and care with your writing. We look forward to seeing your work. Thank you also for all your hard work so far. It's been greatly appreciated and we are proud at Grange. The response has been amazing thus far, and I'm looking forward to see what you conjure and create with this lesson.